Mohandas Gandhi, or better known as Mahatma Gandhi, is one of the most famous leaders and champions for justice in the world. His principles and firm belief in nonviolence have been followed by many other important civil rights leaders, including Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. Gandhi was born in Porbandar, India, on October the 2nd of 1869. He came from an upper-class family and his father was a leader in the local community. As was tradition where he grew up, Gandhi's parents arranged a marriage for him at the age of 13. His parents wanted him to become a barrister, which is a type of lawyer. As a result, when he was 19 years old, Gandhi traveled to England, where he studied law at the University College London. 3 years later, he returned to India and started his own law practice. Unfortunately, his law practice wasn't successful, so he took a job with an Indian law firm and moved to South Africa to work out of the South African Law Office. It was in South Africa where Gandhi would experience racial prejudice against Indians and would begin his work in civil rights. Once back in India, Gandhi led the fight for Indian independence from the British Empire. He organized several non-violent civil disobedience campaigns. During these campaigns, large groups of Indian population would do things like refusing to work, sitting in the streets, boycotting the courts, and more. Each of these protests may seem small by themselves, but when most of the population does them at once, they can have an enormous impact. Gandhi was put in prison several times for organizing these protests. He would often fast while he was in prison. The British government would eventually have to release him because the Indian people had grown to love Gandhi. The British were scared what would happen if they let him die. One of Gandhi's most successful protests was called the Salt March. When Britain put the tax on salt, Gandhi decided to walk 241 miles to the sea in Dundee to make his own salt. Thousands of Indians joined him in this march. Gandhi also fought for civil rights and liberties among Indian people. Mahatma is a term that means great soul. In India, he is called the father of the nation and also Bapu, which means father. Gandhi was assassinated on January 30th of 1948. He was shot by a terrorist while attending a prayer meeting. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were